within the Gatekeepers program. For those of you, if you're new and don't know, we have our Gatekeepers program is a paid course that we have. You can come here and learn. You can come, here, meaning Facebook or YouTube, learn all kinds of stuff from us. We have all kinds of handouts like we're doing today. You can learn that way. We also have a paid course. Both Mickey and Peggy are in the paid course. Peggy covered Mickey's script because we have a thing in the paid course called the Writer's Room where people who are in there can submit their scripts and you guys can practice on them. And so we read her coverage. She did the beautiful thing that a reader is supposed to do, picking out that diamond in the rough. She found the script has some problems. It's not perfect, but it's got a very unusual, cool twist. She discovered it, pointed it out. We thought it was cool, talked to the producers, boom, bada bing. Now we're going to be rewriting that script instead of writing a new script. So because we're doing this rewrite, and then let me know, is everybody having trouble with the handout? Hi, Heather. Nice to see you. Is everyone having trouble with the handout? Let me know and we'll fix it. Or is it just that if you're on your phone, it sounds like people have to wait who are on their phone. So I'll just kind of go through general things. We basically have the handout today to get you started because what we decided is, so we're rewriting this script. We have another kind of side course that, because so many people have been asking, you look, scroll, you see it. There's like everyone asking, how do I get started? How do I get my screenplay started? What's the first thing you do? And so here they are, ready? Write them down. If you don't have the handout, you probably already like looked at the handout and you're sleeping, snoozing by now. It's already 5:20 to start at the handout. Okay, what genre do you love? That's a really good place to start. By just narrowing it down to a genre will kind of help get you going. So that's number one. The Lord. So what do you feel like writing? A lot of it does come down to what do you feel like, what do you love, what lights you up, all of that. The more that you can live in that space with it instead of writing because you read somewhere that what we need are these kinds of screenplays, you can do that. I wouldn't do that, especially if you've on your first one. Although my very first screenplay was my first screenplay, which was the thing that won a contest, which got me into reading. So there's that. But it was for a director. So I had no, like nothing. So I wrote that screenplay. And so, but it was tough. And it wasn't, I mean, it was my first screenplay. Not my best work, but it's, it kind of got me going and whatever. But it was so much easier when then I moved on to things. And I actually wrote 3, I think, before I started writing kind of from my heart. So what lights you up? It was a lot harder. Once I started writing kind of things that inspired me, it was much easier. So, which is why I'm super excited about us doing Mickey's thing, because he is he's like such a horror buff and he has such an extensive knowledge of his genre. Whereas they had commissioned us to write a horror film, which is fine. I've ran a haunted house. It's not it's not like I dislike horror films. I like horror films, but I'm not like Mickey. No. So it's just such a great lines. Just create a log line. I just created a ton of log lines. One of them was a young boy. It was a young boy in this version. A young boy visits a museum where the paintings and the people and the exhibits in the museum come to life and teach him to be someone great. Ben Stiller. But mine was a children's film, right? So they stole that. Okay, write an outline. I'm suing. Write an outline. That's kind of another way. It's just to start writing an outline. Kind of figure out what you want to do. Build your hero. Start with your hero. And I'm kind of racing through the handout. All of these have other bullet points underneath them where you can explore. We actually talked about, and I think we're going to do this. Oh wait, I'm not scrolling. So no, Mickey, you have a full life. You have a very full life, and we're super happy about that. We're going to be creating this into a handbook because we have so many handouts. Why not grow to a handbook where it's fillable? How cool is that, right? It'll be like fillable forms, which will make it easy where we prompt you as opposed to just kind of giving you bullet points. That's coming down the pike. So if you build your hero, if you start with someone that you love or admire or want to be or, have been inspired by or some kind of thing, you can, and that could be a true person too. If you want, you can start an autobiography. Sometimes writing a story about someone that lived or is living can help kind of get the juices flowing too. That can be interesting. There are problems with that, getting rights and that kind of thing. So you have to be aware of that. But start with someone, start creating a character that inspires you. And then another way is, I love this, Doug wrote this, make a mess with 3x5 cards. Go do that, make a mess, because it's fun, arts and crafts. But seriously though, it is huge. I mean, Doug and I have sat with 3x5 cards all over the table. So it's basically write a scene and put it in 3x5 cards. You can throw them up in the air, see where they land, see what how the universe says they should go together, like, or whatever. You could really you could toss the scenes. We will be doing this with, we didn't, so we're looking into 3x5 cards and deciding which scenes to keep, which to rewrite. We already have a few different characters that we've just talked about. We'll be brainstorming with Nikki, and then we'll be writing, he's also going to be in Finished, which is the name of the mastermind, writing his next script, because we want him to be fully prepared when this script takes off, as it will. So then there's also public domain. Public domain, or Snow White is a public domain story that Disney's done really well with, which is why you have the Huntsman. It's because they don't own the story rights to Snow White, because it's public domain story. And there's tons, the Grimm, King Arthur is another one. There's so many public domain stories, or just, Caesar, history of, Hamilton, such a great example of someone that, what a story, right? And not a story we really knew. There's tons of people like that. One of the things I love, out of Hamlet, right? Yes. And made a whole play about them. Like, that's so brilliant, you take just Grumpy. It's interesting to me that Disney has not done this yet, where they have the movie Grumpy, or the movie, well, I think Grumpy is a Disney character, but you could take whatever, the Huntsman. I guess someone did that, but it is but that's what I mean. Exactly what I mean is Disney should do Grumpy the movie. There you go, Disney. They stole it. Sorry. So yeah, that's another way, is playing with public domain. Yes, index carding. That's a fancy way to say it. So also fish out of water. Take fish out of water stories are so universal, where explore something that you've never done, would never do. It's fun. You will learn all about it. And fish out of water stories are really interesting. Like you put England. I mean, Bill and Ted, right? Perfect example of fish out of water story. So it's really, those scenarios. And, we actually have an exercise where we have our screenreaders write iconic scenes by taking two characters out of movies and putting them together, because we think that's it's a great exercise for dialogue, for one thing. That's why we do it in there. And we've gotten some really amazing scenes. So, and then kind of a couple of mindset things, because ding, I always have to end with that. So be your own hero, own that you're a writer. You are a writer. Get a t-shirt that says, I am a writer. We're kind of thinking that maybe we need mugs that say, I am a writer. You are a writer. When people ask, what do you do? Even if you have a full-time job doing something else, if you want to write a screenplay and you want to get that screenplay, you are a writer. That's what you are. This other thing is something that gives you security while you do that. Oh, clunk. That was me. And then this was you. Clunk. I'm a writer. That's how it works. Ding. And then the voices in your head become creative things and not crazy things. Okay. Find your tribe. Congratulations. Now you're like, oh, she's a bit crazy. That's my tribe. Wait. Yes, find your tribe. Go to Facebook groups, and go to Facebook groups about writing. Sometimes they're pretty nasty, though. I don't know. Some they're super negative. Kind of interesting to me that writers can be so negative. Like, what the? Be happy. There's just much more. To me, there's more creativity and joy. Maybe not. For me, there is. When I'm feeling joyous, well, a lot of people, misery is the thing that sparks. It is and it is a way, if you are struggling with something, right. It's a way to kind of work your way at it. But when you're talking about writing and we're inspiring each other, don't be what we call the wonk wonk people. So there's more creativity and collaboration and joy is probably a better way to put it than actual writing and joy. I'll make sure that I clarify that. Oh, bird. So find your tribe, both about writing and about what you're writing about. So if you are someone who wants to write the story of King Arthur, find some Facebook groups about that, because there's so many different subcultures out there that you can find people for anything, pretty much anything. There's someone else that does that, which is the beauty of the world, right? Is that we all have these, everyone has these things, and we can all, there's always someone where you go, wow, that person really gets me. Yeah, it's true. So as a writer, you are the most important hero in your story. Be your own hero. Number 8, find your tribe. Number 9. And number 10, now this is the big secret sauce. You ready? It's a secret to being a writer. It's a really good one. So secret to be a writer. Right. Did you get it? Right. Right? Turn right here so you can go right. I wanted to write a whole song, but as I just already demonstrated, I'm not a songwriter. That was like you park your car at the park and then you go right here to make right so you can write, right? Like they have the whole thing for kids. For kids. It's for kids. One of my favorite movies ever. There. What's that called? Well, the words are the, different words for the same thing. No, same words for the different things. That's what I mean. Anywho, so those are them. Those are those. Because I have good grammar. Yes, I do. And I have a really bouncy chair today. Life is good. Okay, hang out with us at preschool. She's like, you need to hang out with us at preschool the way you're acting today. Hi. Gaina, right? Did I say that right? I know I've been saying it wrong. Super cool. Gaina. That's right? Is it Thousand Island dressing? What are you talking about? Is it? So if you're interested in joining us in Finish, it opens today. Enrollment and opens and Finish today. So we're going to put a link. You can check it out. It's basically a mastermind. It is a course that we have it's another paid thing, but stay in here too, because we'll be doing exercises in here that also relate. So yeah, we'd love to have you if you want to do it. It's going to be super cool. No, we're having fun. Perfect. Yay. Gaina, yay. It's a cool name. I like it. I just keep seeing homophones and I'm not exactly that. No. Oh, is that what this is called? Sorry. Did you see that light bulb? That was like a major light bulb just went ding in my head. Oh, it's live video. I know that there's not that many people watching right now, which helps, except I know a lot more people will watch it later. Okay, got it. That's what they're called. Thank you, Anson. Okay, I've got it. I'm good. I was just thinking, no, I actually did. No, you're right. So sorry. Okay. Just studying this today, listening to a thing about this, about the controlling your mind. but I was talking about how we believe that we are a certain thing. And so it's that we've given the example of the lemon. Like I could create this lemon and I can slice this lemon and I can give you lemonade and your mouth will start to water. Just like we can control our, if we're going to cry, just like I kind of sort of got a hold of myself there. Not so well. It took me a little while, but I did. And the fact that I'm able to do that also, why wouldn't that mean that if something hurts, if you have a headache or your back aches or something, that you can't control that too in the same way? Food for thought, something to think about. That's what I'm working on. Yes, thank you. I got it now, Anson. I'm with it. With you. Thank you for the light bulb. Appreciate that. That was horrible. If you ever need to hang with us this is your formal invite to be a silly adult. I love silly adults. Oh, you should see my friends. It's quite a scene. Peter Pans everywhere. It's awesome. So you guys are great. So thank you. So Doug, can you post the info about Finished? And so you'll see when you get to the page about Finished, it will show you all the things that we're going to be doing there. It tells you the Mickey and Peggy show story, which we'll be telling kind of a lot because it's super cool. And it's really inspiring, right? That's not at all. When we first started Hollywood Gatekeepers, this is not where we thought it would end up. That's not at all. The two projects were kind of hand in hand. And we thought it was cool when we started. We're like, oh, we've got this project. We call it the Jacob Project because it started with a different script. And that script has now it's in basically turnaround. It's been shelved and because it didn't the right one to start with. They changed their mind, decided they want to start with horror. So that's where we're going to be starting with Mickey's script instead. And so you know, you just kind of never know where all of these things lead, and that this was not at all. We just thought it was kind of a cool thing that we could share. And so we're going to continue this process because we don't feel like there's really a lot out there that kind of walks you through what it's like to actually develop something. And so we'll continue as it goes into production and everything, the whole 9 yards. And she's, notice how I'm saying to, like, when, not if. And I told someone about it, another producer friend of mine, about it yesterday, and they said, well, you know, they do know that the odds of it actually getting made are really slim, right? And I was like, I don't know that they know that. I was like, I know that that's, you know, a thing that people say. However, I really feel like, no, we're really planning to do this. And yeah, it could fall through, like, moving forward. And so many beautiful things have happened already with Hollywood Keepers, and this is another one. So we're really excited to be sharing it with you. We're really excited to share handouts like this and create those handouts into a workbook that you could actually use, that you can write your screenplay to help you get your, if you're a writer. And also always keep in mind that all of this, I'm still like laughing, all of this has, oh gosh, I just got a glimpse of myself. So I try not to look at myself. But you know, I have that like tired eye thing from laughing. Anyway, but all of this is under the umbrella of reading. So anything that we are presenting is also for you as a consultant, as a reader. If this is a path that you want to entertain, it's like it will be the thing that you're working with. So, and we've also been having producers contacting us and asking us for recommendations, which has been really great. And we're going to continue growing that as well. So, yeah, so you can look over our shoulder as you develop. Oh goodness, it's a long one, Kana. It's hard to read these. I've already made a fool of myself today, though. So what the heck? It's tough, though, to get started writing. That's why we did the handout. Your mom was treated like crap in England when she was a child due to the war, and my grandmother raising 8 children by herself. I'd love to tell her story, how bad she was mistreated and those other poor children. So then it's not that tough getting started. You just did. Just saying. Just saying. You got to believe, eh? Are you Canadian? I think you do. And je m'en fiche. That's my new saying. Anyone? Did I say what you just demonstrated, Gaina? So I hope that inspires you. Go do that. Go do that thing. Use this handout, play with that idea, plug it into the handout, to the ideas that we just laid out for you, and you'll get your story going. That's how it starts. Not that complicated, right? It really is just about getting it going. It is a good story. See? Look, it's working already. So I think that's it for today. Check out Finish. Let us know if you have any questions. And next week, we're going to continue this idea of getting started. We have another, because we had so many ideas for it that we ended up with 2 things. So we were on a path of talking about action films. We'll come back to that. But then the Mickey and Peggy show happened, and we want to make sure that we share what's going on while it's happening. So awesome. You guys are great. I'm glad that you like it. We like it too. I'm glad you're here, Anson. We love these meetings. And we hope that it inspires you to go and get started, because what did we say? You are a writer. Absolutely. Doug, can you post the link to the handout one more time? And then it will be in the comments, you know, after we close as well. So, and then you can also head on over to our YouTube channel. And on the YouTube channel, you can see videos, and the links to handouts are with the videos as well. And when you download this handout, when you click on the link, you can total binge watch. Just can't even think about that. I want to get the information out. I have to like separate myself from it. All right, you guys, we will talk to you next week. Have a great week. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.